Bam! Wait, I'm waking you up, audience.
They feel it.
Welcome. They should. You should feel the love.
Feel enlivened.
You should feel alive. You should feel awake.
You feel good.
Feel ready to go for another episode of A Better Podcast with Kenny and Jeff.
Yes.
Where, as always, it's Kenny and Jeff.
I was gonna say, are you Kenny this time?
I'm always Kenny, Nathaniel.
God damn it, that's a bad joke.
I never said it was a joke.
You're one of those.
I don't even know what that means.
You know what that means.
I don't. But enough about that. What's going on, guy?
Oh, you know, just it's Friday night, and I'm going to do nothing. It might be Battlefield 1 in our future.
This is true, because as I told you this morning in a text that is, I would say, completely true, in that our friend Jason...
A text, that is true.
Well, I said in the text that Jason is too good for this earth.
He is.
Because this is true.
Yes.
He
does listen, by the way, so we should say only nice things about him.
It's true. He is a saint. Nay, he is an angel. But I went to bed about 10:30 last night, and I woke up to a text that had been sent about an hour later and said, "You should check Origin when you get up." I'm like, "Oh, you!" And I checked it, and sure enough,
Jason,
that handsome devil bought me a copy of Battlefield 1 for the holidays. So I will say here as well, thank you very, very much, Jason. You are a scholar and a gentleman.
He's a friend of mine.
And I look forward to playing it with you.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, and friend in real life.
General spot-up guy. And I have further evidence of that. Recently, for my birthday, which is...
Yes, because you had your birthday
which is upcoming. I had my secret birthday surprise shenanigans from the Marissa and the Stephanie. So the big reveal for my birthday was we went to a tour of AT&T Park.
You did.
Which was awesome.
I know, right?
And Stephanie picked me up with Marissa. And who should be sitting in the back seat, flown all the way out?
Kevin.
No. Jason. Senor Jason.
Doing what he always does.
Flew up. He said that he broke his own record of 0 days notice to his work.
It's true. It's true.
To which I said, "What are they going to do? How can they stop you? Your keys are your finger is essentially on the button over which, like, you press it, Skynet happens. They have to let you go."
That's what I always tell him on his birthday. That I would wish you a happy birthday, Jason, but I'm sure your three-letter organization already knows I was going to do that.
Saw it coming. Every fucking time.
But how was the birthday shenanigans?
Oh man, it was awesome. It was a cool tour. We went to one of the suites, like places that people like I am are not allowed to go.
In the business we call you poor folk.
Yes, scummas. Scum
of the earth, I think, is the technical term.
I believe that is the term that people like to use. Scum. Filthy mudblood. No,
filthy street urchin.
Yes, I am a street urchin. Exactly. And I took a bunch of pictures, and I went through where they have all the historical stuff. Nice. I took a picture of Matt Cain's the ball that a ball from Matt Cain's Perfect Game. Ooh. And I know, right? And a bunch of other cool stuff.
Nice.
And when we got to we took Bart there, and I figured it out once out at the station we got off at. I was like, oh, I wish I'd worn a Giants shirt today because I figured out that we were going there. Because
oh man, wearing this A's jersey was bad.
Yeah, I know, this is embarrassing.
I should not have worn this Dodger jersey.
Yeah, why do I even have this? So we got there and they it was a good tour. Like it was really cool. If you ever find your way out here,
Nice.
sir, or anybody who's in the Bay who wasn't already on the tour because they were there, and let's face it, the only people who listen to the people who were there. The tour was like $22 according to my ticket stub. That's not bad at all.
Wow, that's actually way cheaper than I would have
Yeah,
thought.
it's great, you know. But you go to the dugout store, and so when we got there, I got an envelope. I was handed an envelope, and
Mhm.
on it read, "Buy
Cocaine.
yourself something nice" from Jason, Stephanie, and Marissa, and in there was a $50 gift card from each of them.
Oh wow.
Yes, I know.
Nice.
So after the tour, so yeah, we went up to the suites, and then we went down through the bowels and to the visitors clubhouse.
Mhm.
They don't let people into the Giants clubhouse because the players' stuff are still in there. They keep
Mhm.
stuff there, so which would make sense because like hey, a tour came through and everyone stole Buster Posey's underwear or something like that. Like
Well, to be fair, I think the bigger question in that scenario would be why is Buster Posey keeping his underwear in the
because he
clubhouse?
fucking deserves it, Kenny. You shut your mouth.
I'm as long as they're washing it, it's
You
fine.
will
I'm
respect
just
him.
I do respect him.
Well,
He's a better man than
they
I'll
got
ever be.
stuff in there, and they're afraid of people taking it.
Makes sense. Makes
No,
sense.
no, it doesn't have to be. I was just picking stuff out. But so went to the visitors clubhouse, which had the faint aroma of, still had the faint aroma of the bo.
Mhm.
But and everyone just kind of like looking at like, and I was like looking at like it's a locker room, fellas,
I don't know if you've ever been in one of these
but they
before,
stink.
but sneaky people come
Yeah,
through here.
athletes get stinky when they play the games that people watch, and then they come back in here and it smells bad,
Now I don't know if you've ever played a sport,
or
but you tend to work up a sweat.
or sweated, for that matter.
If you've ever had any kind of odor come off of you, it tends to linger.
And then we went to the which from the visitors clubhouse. We went down to the visitors batting cages, and then we
Mhm.
went, which leads directly up to the visitors dugout. So we were like in the dugout in the field. It
Nice.
was awesome. It was a good day. And like, but after that, we went like the tour ended. And we went to go to the dugout store again, and I could just
Mhm.
spend my monies. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, $150 is a lot, but like I really want a jersey. That'd be really cool if I got a jersey. And I look and I found a 100 pence home jersey, and I was like, oh, this would be awesome. It's $250. And then I think Becky pointed out, she goes, like, everything's off, 30% off at the dugout store. And I was like, that changes
Nice.
everything. So I paid $40 if you include tax for a brand new home 100 pence jersey.
Nice. And the $250 one which you purchased, that's game
That's
quality.
game quality, which is awesome.
That is
They
awesome.
had I've never actually tooled around the dugout store very much because I can't afford anything in there usually.
Hmm.
So it was kind of cool what they had, but like it was kind of cool what they had that was game used because obviously the top tier players, their stuff gets sold not at the
Oh
dugout
yeah.
store in a bin. You know what I mean? Like, so they
Yeah.
had game used helmets. I was like, that's cool for like $40. They were on sale. Everything's on sale when it's in the off season. So like
Nice.
game used helmets, $40. I was like, that's cool, man. I look in there and it's like, it shows it shows like uh what was it? Like the helmets featuring such Giants greats of yesteryear, like Eric Hacker. Remember him? He was a pitcher that we had for a second, and
I remember him.
Emmanuel Burris.
There was a Manuel Burris helmet in
Yeah,
there.
I was like, wow. I can't
Wow.
I can't believe this is still here. Actually, I can believe this is still here.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to find like your Buster Posey or your Hunter Pence or your Madison
No,
Bumgarner
not
used
in
gear
that one.
there.
No, no, no. And I went over to the game used jerseys, which were cool, and
Hmm.
like $50. They were like half off, and I was like, "That's cool." And I'm looking
Nice.
around, and like, okay, that's like a couple Gene Machimers jerseys. Oh, he's not playing for us anymore. And
Actually, I think they signed him to a minor league
mm,
contract last season.
still though,
I don't know if it's still in
still
effect.
though, there were a lot of them.
Well, he's also famous for being arrested for peeing in public.
Oh, Gene Machi. You know,
But that's when he played for the
it was
Cubs.
it was just kind of funny to like see all that, like the game you stuff, and I was like, oh well, there's that.
Nice.
Well,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it was a really fun tour trip, and then we went to a bar outside of the stadium somewhere nearby, like a couple blocks away.
Was it Momo's?
No, it was not Momo's. Um, and it was just some place because we were originally going to go to 21st Amendment Brewery,
Mm-hmm.
but like Jason and Zach scouted ahead while I was shopping, and they called us and were like, "Yeah, there's like an hour wait at 21st Amendment."
Oh,
Now this was 3 in the afternoon on a
wow, that is one
Saturday,
happy hour.
and I'm like, we were all like, "What?" and I was like, "Is it a small place?" Like, no, it's huge. I was like, "What the fuck?"
They must have like some just killer onion rings or
Right? I
something.
know. So then we went to another bar just like nearby,
Mhm.
and it was him when we started walking in there, and I was like, "Hang on!" And there's a sign on the door that said like, "We're closing at 3 o'clock for a private party."
Damn
And I was
it.
like, "Well, not here." So we ended up at a third place, whose name I can't remember, which I feel bad about because I really liked the bartender we got
Mhm.
because we got food and stuff like that, and like he was real fun and funny, and took good
Nice,
care of us.
nice.
And then Nathan, who was with us, a friend of Marissa's originally,
Mhm.
he goes,
Not anymore.
yeah,
Originally,
yeah.
though.
Well, I'm just saying how we know Nathan. He's part of the crew now. Nathan uh, goes over to the bartender before we leave. He goes, oh, I wanted to buy. It's his birthday. We're celebrating. I wanted to buy him a shot. So the bartender goes, I'll take care of it. And he comes over, and he like had concocted some green thing that was like melon liqueur and some weird shit for everybody, and a shot of whiskey for me. And
Nice.
everything was like the only thing that he charged for was the whiskey. So
Nice.
everyone else got a shot in the house from him of that weird thing he made,
Except
and he
you.
had one himself.
Of course. Well,
'Cause-
good
well,
bartender.
he made one for Dan, but Dan doesn't drink, so he saw that. I was like, oh, okay, whoop.
Well, can't let this go to waste.
Whee! um, so you go, well, yeah, we go like I remember too. Like he was a funny dude. Like we go. Can we get they asked for the bill, and he goes like that sounded like shots. and and Marissa goes like on the house, and he goes, I'll get you check. so
I appreciate him though.
so there was food and drink there, and we were merry. And
Nice.
then we got back to my neck of the woods, went to the Hop Grenade, which is my spot,
Nice.
and there was more drinks, and we were merry. And then those remaining who were still there that night went to the old stomping grounds, Magoo's Bar and Grill in Peel,
Ooh.
and there was more food and drinks, and we were merry. And by the time I got home, I was too merry.
Not possible. Not possible.
Yes, possible. And
Nope.
and I must have, like, I got home around midnight, and I was trying to stay awake because I wanted to like wait to fall asleep before I sobered up a little bit, which
Mhm.
apparently just never happened. And I passed out. I must have passed out because it was next thing I knew it was 2 a.m. and I missed like 2 episodes of Star Trek Voyager, and because Netflix
Nice.
just keeps rolling, and
You didn't get the. Are you still watching things?
it didn't. It must not have happened because like I know I was wondering about that too. I'm like, what the hell happened to that thing? Because interesting.
Probably look through your queue and it's like, yeah, this fucker's still.
Yeah, this
watching.
fucking stole. He's a loser. Fucking Mo. Then I did some praying at the altar, as they say,
Mhm.
if you catch my drift.
I do.
And
Praying upon the porcelain throne.
yes, praying to the porcelain god for forgiveness of my exuberant sins. And then
Sorry, I had fun. I'm sorry.
yeah, I
I'd never do
fun.
it again.
As you say, I don't know where you got this from, so I wish I could give someone real credit because it's too clever for you. But as you say,
Rude. Rude.
drinking is like borrowing happipiness from tomorrow.
I can't remember where I heard that.
It's apt. It is apt. I'm like, that's amazing. It's so true. Because the next day I continued my vomitus until finally, like around noon, with like flu-like symptoms and frailty of someone who's near his death, I put a baseball cap on and I drove my ass to Safeway to buy two things: ginger ale and bananas. and then I drove my frail ass home and nursed myself back to health. And my back from the expulsions from so many explosions, my back was sore for like 2 days afterwards.
Nice. That's a real man vomit.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
I just love this image of you like getting ready and like putting on this baseball hat to conceal your identity.
Well, I put it on because like my hair was everywhere because I hadn't had a shower yet because I couldn't stand. So
I just picture that, like, you know, every time someone in the film wants to conceal their identity, they always put a baseball cap on.
yeah,
So I just picture you trying to go to the store incognito, like, oh, no one recognizes me like this.
incognito, protected. So it was a great night. It
Sounds
it
like
was
it.
followed up by a terrible day, but it was of my own doing, and it was worth it.
Well, I'm glad you had a lot of fun.
I had fun. I had the funds. Funds
The most
funds
fun.
were had, and I still got this awesome jersey.
Nice.
And I look good, look fucking good, Kenny. Should have been a ball player because I look so damn good in it.
Hey, you look
I
okay.
look good.
I saw pictures.
You shut up.
Eh,
Shut the fuck up.
rude.
You agree with me?
Rude.
You're
Rude.
You're rude. I'm rude. You're rude. You started it.
No, you.
Sorry, I'm feeling defensive today.
I can tell.
Can you please tell me I'm pretty?
Hey, you're okay.
Oh,
I wouldn't kick you out of bed.
oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess.
You know. But I'm glad you had fun. I was pretty excited for what you were going to do, so I'm glad it worked out.
Did you hear about it? How did you ever hear about it before or after, or
about?
did you ever hear about it before or after? Did you know before we went, like, what the plans were? Were you in on it?
Yeah, because I was part of the Facebook group. They made a Facebook group about you.
Oh, wow.
That's how I knew about it.
Oh,
But yeah, that's I was keeping track of that, but I'm just sitting there like, I want to go.
oh my God! Why not me?
Well, hopefully, I will be around for the next one.
Yeesh. Oh,
Yes,
speaking of being around for the next one, you're in on the Facebook group for the new Chester reunion in March, possibly
I am.
the possible Chester reunion in
So
March.
I am very excited about it.
I am too.
Mostly because this time I'll be employed.
I might have to like sell my body to afford a ticket out there, but
Well, you might want to start now then.
I know, right? I mean, at
Well,
a
actually,
nickel,
well,
at a
you hit
nickel
the
a
right
go
parts
around,
of-
I'm going to be sore and busy.
You like that that meme of Terminator 2 I've seen, where it's a scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger first appears, where he's new and he goes up to the bar,
Mhm.
and taking scenes from that and the stills of him looking at one of the bikers, and the caption says, "I made $3,000.05 from sucking dick,"
Oh yeah,
and then the
That's the
biker
joke.
says, "Who gave you the nickel?"
give the nickel.
It
Everyone,
says-
all of them. Huh?
Although you go to the right parts of San Francisco, you'll probably make your money quick.
Yeah, all right. Mhm.
Got hit with that Castro.
Yeah, buddy.
But you should come out for the next one.
I want to. I'm going to try my damnedest. I plan to. Let me put it that way. I count on me going. I just, barring like severe financial destitution. And in fact, I might put myself into severe financial destitution if I can, if I do go.
Hey, that's the American spirit.
That's right. like I said earlier, I think I'm just gonna have to I'm gonna spend my tax return on my like my teeth and my credit card, and then I'll have to put the plane ticket immediately on my credit card.
As long as you pay it back, that's fine.
Yeah, sure, eventually.
You get there one day.
I take
But,
one step
speaking
forward,
of-
2 steps back.
That's how life is. Now that's the American
Because
dream.
opposites attract.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But speaking of the spirit of America,
Yes.
you had said there was an article you wanted to read.
Yes.
Something historical.
Yes.
But you didn't give me
It
many
was, it was a
deets, so-
historical account. It was an interesting history lesson.
Mhm.
I'm vamping
I'm all
because I'm
all
looking
about
up
those.
where it is, and
Did you find it?
yes.
Good.
So this was from Smithsonian.com, as most of my articles these days are from, because I like what they post, and and
And that's all I really need to tell
these
you.
days I find myself with some free time at work because it's like super quiet because of the holidays. I got when I came in this morning, there was an email for me, and it was
a whole email.
yes, and it was from a student saying thank you from a previous email from the previous day. So it's a little quiet right now. Holidays. How journalists covered the rise of Mussolini and Hitler. And this is
Go on.
an authored by one John Broich
Hmm.
from theconversation.com, I suppose. Okay. I'm going to read it in its entirety. It's not super long, but I feel like it's pertinent.
I would say so.
And interrupt as much as please.
Can do.
I was just waiting for you to interrupt. How to cover the rise.
Well, excuse me for liking to
I
interrupt.
knew that was coming. I knew it. Why did I say that?
I'm just meeting expectations.
Thanks, buddy. How to cover the rise of a political leader who's left a paper trail of anti-constitutionalism, racism, and encouragement of violence? Does the press take the position that its subject acts outside the norms of society, or does it take the position that someone who wins a fair election is by definition normal because his leadership reflects the will of the people? These are the questions that confronted the U.S. press after the ascendance of fascist leaders in Italy and Germany in the 1920s and 1930s. A leader for life, Benito Mussolini secured Italy's premiership by marching on Rome with 30,000 black shirts in 1922. Black shirts were supporters of Mussolini. By 1925, he had declared himself leader for life. While this hardly reflected American values, Mussolini was a darling of the American press, appearing in at least 150 articles between 1925 and 1932, most neutral, bemused, or positive in tone.
Wow. Okay.
The Saturday Evening Post even serialized Il Duce's autobiography in 1928, acknowledging that the new fascisti movement was a bit, quote, rough in its methods. Papers ranging from the New York Tribune to the Cleveland Plain Dealer to the Chicago Tribune credited it with saving Italy from the far left and revitalizing its economy. From their perspective, the post-World War I surge of anti-capitalism in Europe was a vastly worse threat than fascism. Ironically, while the media acknowledged that fascism was a new experiment, papers like the New York Times commonly credited it with returning turbulent Italy to what it called normalcy. Yet some journalists, like Hemingway, and journals like the New Yorker rejected the normalization of anti-democratic Mussolini. John Gunther of Harper's, meanwhile, wrote a razor-sharp account of Mussolini's masterful manipulation of a U.S. press that couldn't resist him. So we're just letting that sit for a minute, let people percolate on that history lesson.
Keep in mind, history lesson. Supposed to be history.
This is a history lesson. The German Mussolini. Mussolini's success in Italy normalized Hitler's success in the eyes of the American press, who, in the late 1920s and early 1930s, routinely called him the German Mussolini. Given Mussolini's positive press reception in that period, it was a good place for which to start. Hitler also had the advantage that his Nazi party enjoyed stunning leaps at the polls from the mid-20s to early 30s, going from a fringe party to winning a dominant share of parliamentary seats in free elections in 1932. But the main way that the press defanged Hitler was by portraying him as something of a joke. He was a, quote, nonsensical screecher of wild words, whose appearance, according to Newsweek, quote, suggests Charlie Chaplin. His countenance is a caricature. He was as voluble as he was insecure, stated Cosmopolitan. History lesson. This is history we're talking about.
Now, to be fair,
yes,
he did look a bit silly.
Yes, well, it can happen.
True.
Despite silliness, people rise to power. When Hitler's party won influence in Parliament, and even after he was made Chancellor of Germany in 1933, about a year and a half before seizing dictatorial power, many American press outlets judged that he would either be outplayed by more traditional politicians or that he would have to become more moderate. Sure, he had a following, but his followers were impressionable voters duped by radical doctrines and quack remedies, claimed the Washington Post. Now that Hitler actually had to operate within a government, the sober politicians would submerge this movement, according to the New York Times and Christian Science Monitor. A keen sense of dramatic instinct was not enough when it came time to govern. his lack of gravity and profundity of thought would be exposed.
Hmm.
In fact, the New York Times wrote after Hitler's appointment to the chancellorship that success would only let him expose to the German public his own futility. Journalists wondered whether Hitler now regretted leaving the rally for the cabinet meeting, where he would have to assume some responsibility. Yes, the American press tended to condemn Hitler's well-documented anti-Semitism in the 1930s, but there were plenty of exceptions. Some papers downplayed reports of violence against Germany's Jewish citizens as propaganda, like that which proliferated during the foregoing World War. Many, even those who categorically condemned the violence, repeatedly declared it to be at an end, showing a tendency to look for a return to normalcy. Almost done here. Journalists were aware that they could only criticize the German regime so much and maintain their access. Yes, when a CBS broadcaster's son was beaten up by brown shirts for not saluting the Fuhrer, brown shirts like black shirts, brown shirts was Hitler, or Nazis, for not saluting the Fuhrer, he didn't report it. When the Chicago Daily News's Edgar Moerer wrote that Germany was becoming an insane asylum in 1933, the Germans pressured the State Department to rein in American reporters. Allen Dulles, who eventually became director of the CIA, and whose Dulles Airport is named after, by the way, told Moerer he was taking the German situation too seriously. Moerer's publisher then transferred him out of Germany in fear of his life. By the later 1930s, most U.S. journalists realized their mistake in underestimating Hitler or failing to imagine how bad things could get. Though there remain infamous exceptions, like Douglas Chandler, who wrote a loving Paean, I forget always how to pronounce it. Paean. I always forget how to pronounce that.
I'd say Paean.
Who wrote a loving word to Changing Berlin for National Geographic in 1937. Dorothy Thompson, who judged Hitler a man of startling insignificance in 1928, realized her mistake by mid-decade when she, like Moerer, began raising the alarm. She says, "No people ever recognize their dictator in advance," she reflected in 1935. "He never stands for election on the platform of dictatorship. He always represents himself as the instrument of the incorporated national will." Applying the lesson to the U.S., she wrote, "When our dictator turns up, you can depend on it that he will be one of the boys, and he will stand for everything traditionally American."
Now I'm one of those people who I don't like to bandy about the Hitler label. I think it's really overused, and it's at this point become just a way to end an argument without actually having an argument.
Especially since Barack Obama has been Hitler for so long now.
Yeah, it's really hard to be Hitler when you were someone that Hitler would have exterminated.
Yeah,
but that's another story.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Hitler label is real fucking apt.
I mean, we promised we wouldn't be that political anymore on the show. However, in case out there anybody listening is not understanding the incredibly subtle subtext to the article, they were drawing some parallels without actually saying it to the most recent election results.
Trump is Hitler. I'm just going to say it.
Thank you, Kenny.
You're welcome.
That article was chilling. Like when I was like, "Oh my god!" Especially that quote at the end. I was like, "Oh my god!" That was written in 1935.
Well, speaking of that, there's a Keith Olbermann video. He's still doing his anti-Trump segment with GQ, although the format has changed slightly. Before it was originally designed to show you why Trump's a bad choice. Now it's basically being used as a means to resist Trump.
Yeah, point out like, hey, this is the shit he's doing now, I guess.
but he did this video where he's basically doing the same thing this article's doing, and he's reading quotes that if you took them out of context, you wouldn't know who they're talking about.
Yeah.
And there's one quote where they I'll put the video in the description because I don't want to butcher this because it's pretty important. But basically it was this quote we're talking about where Hitler, yeah, I can't remember if this was uh, pre or post election, but basically he's super popular at this point, so I'm assuming this would be post. But basically, he's talking about he lands his aircraft. He gets out and waves to the crowd, gets them riled up, and then he leaves. And the way that this quote is being described, it's exactly the thing that Trump is doing. And it's just it's and to hear this and to think about our situation now versus the situation then, especially that we have hindsight. It's baffling to think that this is the road that we're on at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But something I did hear kind of funny about Trump. So as we know, Trump doesn't want to stay at the White House all the time, and Melania and Bannon are going to stay at Trump Tower until Bannon is finished with the school year. So the Secret Service is going to have to be at Trump Tower. And from what I heard on NPR, Trump may actually lose a lot of money because of that. Because although Trump will be paid essentially by the government because they'll be staying in Trump Tower, because there's a government, essentially a high-ranking government official on the property, they're going to have to screen and search every single person that comes in that building. That is going to take hours and hours to do, and he is going to lose so much business because of that. So in the end, it may actually cost him a ton of money to have them there. And from what I heard, it's everybody from high-ranking official to mailman.
Yep. I don't care. Fuck him.
No, I just find it funny that
I hope he
don't
loses
think Trump,
all the money.
Oh, I hope he is broke as fuck the day he leaves office on January 21st.
That he was.
But I just
right. Let's hope.
I just find it funny because I don't
that
think
he canceled Air Force One because it was too expensive, and guess what?
But the thing is, like, the funniest thing about that is the projected date for when that plane, the new Air Force One, would be delivered is after he would be out of office.
So,
Like, it wasn't even if he had been there for 8 years, it wouldn't have gotten there by the time he was while he was still president.
he's like, I don't want it. No one gets it.
The best part is like he was saying like, oh, it's this $4 billion project, like that's just a waste of money, and Boeing's like, no, it's only $170 million project.
It's actually peanuts.
Exactly, and like,
I mean,
and he never says like
it is a lot of money, but to the American GDP,
$170 million is no joke.
That is peanuts. To the American GDP, that is nothing. We could fund Planned Parenthood for like 50,000 years with that.
We really could. Think of all those abortions we could have.
Yeah, we could give all the abortions. Abortions for everyone.
Everyone should have all the guns and abortions they want.
Yes, that's right.
But yes, I do understand that we are trying not to be political and all about Trump, but sometimes you just got to point some shit out.
That article, like I just stumbled upon it because it came out like a little bit after the anniversary of Pearl Harbor, mm-hmm. where a ton of articles were coming out about World War II and Hitler. And shit, and I'm just like, okay, I've read everything before, like come on, it's World War II. There's only so much new stuff we can cover about World War II. At this point,
there's only so many new video games out.
I know, right? I mean, I've won World War II so many times.
All because of me.
All because of me, baby. Anyway. But so I skipped it. I didn't read that article the day it came out. I was like, whatever, more World War II shit. And it just kept popping up in their feed, so to speak. Yeah. It kept popping up to the top. Yeah. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll read it. And I read it, and I was just like, oh no.
Oh no.
I immediately shared it with people, and I even nutted it up, and I shared it with my German friend Sigrid, who I work with. And because I'm always unsure if I should broach that subject with her.
I don't know her at all, obviously, but all I can think of is she read that her response was, "Ach, mein Gott."
Ach, mein Gott. But she was like, I asked her about the article the next day, and she was like, I have been sharing that with everyone. I'm like, that's cool. Pretty intense.
See, I know a way that you could really you really appeal to her. You'd be like, "Hey, Sigurd, hey, you know that Hitler guy? Real bad apple, that guy."
That guy.
Or you could always go with the old standby joke. That Hitler, he was a real sauerkraut, eh?
Oh!
Oh!
Oh my goodness.
And then she'll insult you for calling her German kraut, and then it just evolves from there. Well, I'm glad that you were able to share that with her, and she didn't get all touchy about it.
Yeah.
Although I can't imagine she would.
I mean, it probably wouldn't matter. Like I know that. Like in my brain, I understand that she would not be offended because she's never like.
Yeah. It's not like you're saying like, "Hey, your people are all like this." You're just sharing an article with her about a very topical issue. At the moment.
Exactly. Like, well, because she's even broached the subject on the Nazi Germany thing a couple times, where because like especially with Trump coming up and some of that, she's like, guys, like this is like a serious thing in our history, in German history, like,
Yeah.
just to let you know.
I know all about this.
Yeah. Hello. So I felt comfortable bringing it up. Comfortable. I'm pretty proud of myself.
What you should do?
The spot. Oh, sorry.
When you should be like, "Hey, I have to show you this thing on my computer screen. Here, why don't you sit in my comfy chair?"
Oh! No, she would hate that. That's probably a step too far.
You can write a book about your terrible head cold called Mein Kampf.
Oh, womp womp.
Oh, man.
Womp womp womp.
I am surprised that the article didn't mention anything about Mussolini keeping the trains running on time.
Yeah, he did do that. Because if you didn't, you were shot. It's a very severe program. I don't know why we are Soviet Russian now, but I don't have a
they would.
I don't have a good fascist Italian accent to fall back on, so.
I always wonder with if World War II had gone the other way and Germans had won, or they should say the Axis had won, like what the outcome of that would have been. Because there's no way that Hitler would have been okay with the Japanese sticking around.
No. Well, like if you haven't seen it yet, the second season just dropped on Amazon Prime. But
haven't seen it. I haven't even seen the first.
Oh
season.
My God, Man in the High Castle.
I do want to check it out.
Like I watched the first season, and it does posit just that. Like we lost the war, like and so the Germans and the Nazis are sort of coexisting, but it's like tenuous.
Yeah,
it's really interesting how they cover the Holocaust too, because like it's very much so hidden in the world still. Like and people know about it, but they don't talk about it. Like they like all the people who are like part of the regime are like, we did the right thing. We did the right thing. We did the right thing.
Yep, did the right thing. No, you didn't. I said we did the right thing.
Did the right thing.
God,
that
was my favorite Spike Lee film. Do the right.
Do the right thing. That was on Hollywood Babylon. They have a recurring bit where people send in Hitler in the movies. They call it.
Oh God.
To steal their opening like joke for it. Like it all started when a guy sent Kevin Smith a thing on Twitter saying that he had an idea for a movie where Hitler dies in his bunker, and he goes to the pearly gates, and they said, we're not going to let you in, but you have one chance, and that is to go forward in time and stop Osama bin Laden from bombing the World Trade Center, for attacking the World Trade Center. And he called it 9/11. So from there on, it was like,
I would watch that.
It was like, yeah, no, right? It was like Do the Right Thing and 9 to 5 and all that shit. So
the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yes. There you go. You should send that one in. I haven't been listening in a while.
Oh, I should.
Because I've been on podcast. I've been dropping podcasts a lot for books on tape. I'm going through the Discworld series and my Bart travels right now. Just because I was kind of getting burnt out on constantly podcasting. I mean, listening to podcasts. I'm not burnt.
Except this show.
I'm
Great
not
show.
burnt out on podcasting. I'm burnt out on listening to podcasts.
Which, much like you, audience, having a great time listening to our show.
Yes.
You should do it all the time.
Yes, all the time. Please, please.
For the love of God,
You'll
please.
hurt me if I say it again.
What did I tell you about that?
I'll tell you, boy.
I said keep that off the air. To learn you after the show.
I mess up, Kenny's gonna beat me.
Not my real
Not
dad.
my real dad.
Yeah, that is kind of a terrifying article.
Yeah, to sum up, yeah, like seriously, really well written. Hats off to that dude. I already forgot his name because I closed the window.
Well, I will find the article and put it in the description because it is worth another look at.
I mean, really, share it with your friends, folks, because like that guy, like we'll give him the a better podcast, a better clap, because everything's better around here. Because like
Hopefully
that article
better.
was like incredibly well written, and not once did he say what he really meant to say. Like he did not give up the goat. You know what I mean? Like he really kind of stuck it out. It was just great. I cannot be happier with that. Terrible thing, because it is bad, but it's sad, but it's also like really important to tell people like here's a history lesson. This is important.
I will say though, I'm not as worried, despite all the obvious similarities between the two periods of time, because it has happened before, and we do have people who recognize that and who don't want that and think it's bad. I don't see it. I mean, obviously, okay, I will say, I don't actually ever expect that to happen again, anything like the Holocaust or anything like that again, because I don't, as bad as he is, I don't see Trump going that far.
Oh God, I hope not. Fuck me.
I can't imagine that. I don't see him as a violent person. He's just an ignorant buffoon. Like,
yeah, I don't think he's, but he does incite it though, and he's not, he doesn't hide behind that either. That's what's kind of scary about it. Like he's not apologize. He's incited violence on purpose, and he's never seen it as like a bad thing. And that's what I kind of worry about. You know, it's like really kind of.
I do worry about that too. Like I'm not saying like that it's all going to be he's just going to be, a douchebag in power. Like I think there's going to be some potentially dangerous things that'll happen. But I do think because we've gone through a period of time like that before, and we have people who recognize that, and people who don't want that to happen again, and people who are calling that out now, and seeing the connection, and are trying to stop it. I think if things start to continue, or I should say, if things continue to go down that route and go down that route in a more hostile fashion, it will be stopped because people recognize it and they'll do what they can to stop it. I don't think there's going to be people who are just going to sit there. I don't think those people are going to sit there idly by and let it just go on.
I sincerely hope so. I just don't have as much confidence as I did, say, on November 3rd.
I think for me, it's not a question of will they try to stop it. It's more a question of will they be able to.
Yeah, that's another problem. Because
I don't doubt that they'll want to. I don't doubt they'll try. I just don't know if they'll be successful.
Because his most fervent followers are like, we downplay, but guess what? They're in power now. Essentially, like their ideals and wants and desires were what was selected. You know, so it's like.
And despite that, there is one last hurdle or one last barrier to Trump being president with the electors.
They won't
on the 19th. What I'm saying is, like, even though there is one more hurdle, one more barrier to Trump's presidency, if for some reason enough of them do switch and don't vote for Trump, and he's not president because he doesn't get the votes, there's going to be riots from these people.
You know what? Let them riot. I hope they all get arrested and shit. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just not in a very good mood for that kind of thing.
No.
I'm not feeling very genuine. I mean, I'm feeling genuine. I'm not feeling very generous right now. I don't fuck those guys.
Oh no! If they do right, I hope they'll go to jail.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I think something like that will happen if it ends up being that the electors decide to say no, we're not letting this happen.
Yeah.
But then again, that is the point of the Electoral College, is for them to see what's going on and be like, oh, this is actually a really bad idea, and not vote for the person that won the
That's what
election.
they're there for, but I doubt enough of them will nut up and actually do it.
Some of them, a number of them have said that they can't vote for Trump on principles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But whether or not they'll actually stick to their guns, I don't know. We'll find out on Monday.
Yeah. I mean, if they all vote against him, where he's not, it would be the greatest birthday present that America's ever given me.
Mm-hmm.
and last year
it'll make it for every year before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and last year, I mean, to put it in context, last year they gave me episode 7. So.
Oh, that's right.
So, I'm just saying, the greatest birthday gift America has ever given me could be that.
Outside of a blowy from Lady Liberty.
Oh, God, man. I'm telling you, she's hot.
I like them tall and green.
Yeah. She's French. That automatically gives her 2 points.
Oui, oui. Oh.
Yeah, oui. And you know she's... and as Dr. Peter Venkman said, you know she's naked under that toga.
It's true. I feel like, and I feel like with her, based purely on her dimensions and proportions, it would automatically be a menage a trois.
Good Lord, yes.
I mean, it'd have to be.
Yeah.
She's a big lady.
Yeah, I'd have to. I mean, it could be me and a couple other dudes doing it right now. I could climb up in that thing. Literally. No.
You live in there. It's so cavernous.
Just hang out.
That's why I like this show. We went to a very serious subject to talking about doing the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, straight up fucking her and living inside of her snatch. That's what we were talking about just now.
Yep. God bless America.
I'm saluting. You can't tell because it's an audio show.
Well, I did as well.
I hope we did it at the same time.
We probably did, honestly.
Good times. Good work.
Oh man, speaking of world wars and horrible outcomes, as I did mention earlier, I did get the Battlefield.
You did?
I did. Thanks to our buddy Jason. And again,
yes.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Kind motherfucker.
You are far too kind for me and this earth. Lucky to have you.
We're not worthy.
We are not worthy.
We are not worthy.
But yes, I'm very excited. Especially because Jason and I have similar systems. And it runs fine on his, so should run fine on mine.
Yeah.
I was worried about that because looking at the graphics, especially with all the modern games that are coming out, and needing fairly beefy systems to run them at decent specs, or not specs, decent resolution. That's
the game is stupid pretty. I'll tell you that right now.
It looks gorgeous, and I'm actually excited because I've never really been one to I've never like the whole war shooter genre. It's never really been my thing. But watching videos of this, it actually looks really awesome, and especially from what I heard about the single player campaign being pretty good. I'm actually really excited to try it. So hopefully, the three of us will get to play soon. I don't know, have you played any of it?
Oh yeah, I've beaten the campaign, and I've been playing online occasionally. Some nights I just like try to play and I suck, and I'm like, God damn it! It's just not good sometimes. And other times, like I'll try to play and it gets frustrating because like I don't really like how like there's game modes that are popular and there are game modes that are not popular. Like there's a game mode that's called Pigeon Wars.
Oh, wait, do you get to fight as a pigeon?
No. You'd think so, right? It's basically just capture the flag. Like a pigeon appears on the map and you have to get to him and defend him.
But there's so many pigeons.
I know, right? You have to get to a messenger pigeon appears on the map. So you have to get to him and release him before the enemy does, or before the enemy stops you. It's like basically just got to capture the flag. You have to take the pigeon from one area to the next. Or at least I think it is, because I've never gotten to play it because there's no one ever in that game mode.
now I don't mean to criticize the game design because it does look like a very pretty game. But if the goal of the game, of that mode, is to get the pigeon from point A to point B, it is a pigeon. It can fly. You probably can just throw it from where you pick it up.
Let's shoot that motherfucker down. In one of the campaign missions, you do get to fly as a pigeon, so it makes you feel better.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because I'd seen screenshots of flying around as a pigeon, and I'm like, I didn't know if that was that mode. Or...
Downside, though, they do not tell you how to fly in that game with your keyboard and mouse. Like, they do not tell you at all the controls to flight while that's all
So
happening.
it's a big crapshoot.
Yeah.
Until
Like-
a pigeon crapshoot.
Well, like I was just like, first things first, like this pigeon is either diving directly into the ground or flying straight up in the air, and I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. So,
Well, it is a pigeon.
Yeah.
I would probably kill myself too if I was a pigeon.
spoilers, you have to use the arrow keys, Kenny. Arrow keys.
You don't use WASD?
WASD is your speed. Arrow keys.
Why wouldn't
Yeah.
arrow keys be speed?
No,
that
no,
doesn't make
no.
any sense.
That's just the way it is, Kenny.
I take back everything I said about this game.
So don't look forward to that bit, or at least you'll enjoy it more than I did when I first did it, because I was like, for real?
I'll probably see if I can remap the keys. If not, I guess I'll just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I'll have to wing it.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, flying
yes.
flying city rat.
Or as the pigeon account I follow on Twitter called itself, Sky Trash.
Sky Trash. You follow a pigeon account on Twitter?
And pigeon.
And pigeon.
Yep.
At and
Loves-
pigeon.
At and pigeon, comma.
Comma, comma.
There's two commas. I don't know why I put two commas.
Comma, chameleon.
Yes.
Comes and goes.
Comes and goes.
Comes and goes.
Yeah, but he likes to talk about spaghetti a lot, and talking about kicking his own ass.
Okay.
I'll link Ann Pigeon in the description because you should just check out Ann.
All right. I can't wait.
There's also it's funny because it's obviously a joke account, but every once in a while whoever runs the account will tweet something really serious, like based on whatever's going on in the well, more election talk. Whatever's going on with just politics and the election in general, he'll tweet something and just be like, delete your fucking account or something like that. So it's funny to see like all these like really stupid tweets and something really, really serious. It's like when I'm looking through my Twitter account, because for whatever reason, I follow a number of Sesame Street people on Twitter, like Elmo and Cookie Monster.
Sesame
and
Street
Count.
people, you say?
Yep, people.
Okay.
Like Elmo and Sesame Street and Grove.
Kenny, Kenny, they're not. Kenny. Not people.
No, they're monsters, okay?
That's not what I meant, Kenny.
But no, I follow a bunch of Sesame Street.
We're not done here, Kenny.
We are. Nope, finishing it now. Anyway, I follow a bunch of Sesame Street characters on Twitter for some reason. And it's funny because I see all these like really horrible things about the election, and then I'll just in the middle of it see a random tweet from Elmo talking about counting or like liking a certain thing, and it makes me laugh every time because I see all these like really serious horrible things, and then Elmo talking about loving coloring, and I'm like,
Oh God. What the?
what?
It's like, what the hell?
But my favorite account, though, I think will always be Count Von Count's Twitter account. Because all it is him counting. It's just, he'll randomly tweet out a number. He'll tweet out sequential numbers. So, like, he'll tweet out, like, 1001, and then, like, an hour later, 1002. And, like, I followed this, and I was reading his timeline, and I'm just like, I don't know what I expected when I followed this count. Oh, and once in a while, he'll say, like, 1005, like, he'll throw that out, too. But it is nice to get that lighthearted bit through all the horrible, dark seas that Twitter is right now. But anyway, back to Battlefield.
Back to Battlefield.
Outside of the pigeon thing, how was the campaign? I'm really curious.
The campaign's really good. It's very thoughtful and like interesting.
Is it beefy?
No, it's not long.
Damn.
Of course not,
Totally.
because that's not what the players want to play. You know, like the majority. To be fair, if the majority of their audience is going to only play online, never touch the campaign, you're just not going to spend development money on the campaign. You know, you're not going to spend the time and the money on it.
Bummer.
And I disagree with it. I prefer if they would.
I'd almost rather they release two games: a multiplayer game and then the single player only game.
But if you remember, Battlefield 1942, the first game of the franchise, didn't have like a single player mode. You just went through the maps and like they told you like the history of what you were doing and stuff like that, and what it was like about, but it didn't actually like there wasn't any cutscene, there wasn't like you didn't follow a character around or anything like that. It was just you just play the game.
I mean, it makes sense for the context of what they're doing because I mean you're fighting in a war, not exactly like a single player moment. Like if it really is to really boil it down almost inappropriately, it's a team-based activity.
Yay! War is team-based.
So, I mean, it would make sense for them not really to have a single-player campaign, if anything, just for that. But I would still like to see a single-player campaign, or at least a more, I shouldn't say fleshed out, because I have heard it is a really good campaign. Just a longer, beefier campaign. But I'm glad it's good.
You know what's funny is when I had I've never played Battlefield 1940. I had that game. I never played it online.
Really?
No, I never did because I didn't understand. I didn't understand that you could. Like, I just always played against the computers.
Yeah, that's games like that. That's what I usually do.
I was like,
I don't feel like getting my ass kicked by other people.
Well, I was like, I'm really good. All right. You know, like,
oh, actually, no, I'm shit.
No.
That's right.
I mean, yeah, you will suck at Battlefield 1 unless you play a decent
absolutely.
amount. Like, I'm okay at it now. Like, I can snipe well, and that's the one class I've sort of maxed out. In that, by maxing out, you only rank up 3 times in the class.
You don't get like a prestige mode.
I don't know if they do. If you do, I haven't gotten to it remotely yet. I think I'm like at sergeant.
Sergeant.
Because when you rank up. Like, the first time they did the rank-up system was in Battlefield 2142, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it.
And so you started out as, like, recruit, and you level up to private, then you level up to private first class, and you level up to sergeant, yada, yada, yada. Now it's just, like, they changed it years ago. So now you go, like, private 1, private 2, private 3, private 4. So, like, nice. I think you have to, like, do, like, 5 or 6 ranks within every rank, and then you rank up again. But the rank system is not as useful. It doesn't mean anything because before in previous Battlefield games, you wouldn't get weapons unlocked until you ranked to a certain level.
Yeah, I definitely encountered that with 2142.
It doesn't exist in this one. So there's you buy weapons, but you're limited by the class rank. So there's class ranks 1 through 3. So you would have to, like, I have a sniper 3, so I have access to all the different sniper rifles in the game until a DLC comes out, and I didn't pay for it, so I'm not going to get those ones. Or the maps, or whatever.
Is it like Counter-Strike where you have to buy it each match, or once you buy it, you just have it?
It's like once you buy it, you have it, like the DLC.
Okay, so I don't have to rebuy it every time I start a new game, basically.
No. When you buy the DLC, it's yours. It doesn't.
Well, I mean, with Counter-Strike, every time you start a match, like, you have to pick your weapon and you buy it.
Okay, no, not like that. I thought you meant, like, why would I buy them? Who Counter-Strike does that? I was like, Jesus, people play this game?
Oh no. No, I just mean, like, every time, right?
No,
somehow really popular.
Weird. No, you buy it once and it's yours with your money, cool. And after every match, they show these battle packs get randomly bestowed upon different players. Doesn't matter if you sucked or were good. It's random.
Nice.
But all the battle packs give you are like weapon skins. So like, if you don't care like I do, I don't care at all about the weapon skins. My gun doesn't have to look different. It doesn't have to have a cool name. It's like it has zero effect on how it plays. And how it shoots.
And I know for some games that have weapon skins, the only person who sees them is you anyway.
Yeah, so who cares? It does not matter.
Yeah.
In this game, I can always tell that someone had a weapon skin because when you get killed, they tell you by which weapon. And if it has a skin attached to it, you see the weapon. Like, it's got a name, like the Liberator or some shit. Like, who cares?
Fires nothing but dildos.
So yeah, exactly. So you sell. You do what I do, and you scrap it or you sell the weapon skin for money that you use to buy weapons with that actually matter. So I've got actually all the equipment too. I've got actually a lot of money right now because I don't spend a lot of it because there's not a lot to buy. Like especially with the sniper rifle I have, I'm like, I like this one, so I'm keeping it.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, so, but it's fun. I hope we get to play tonight. It'll be enjoyable.
Hopefully, that would be awesome.
You will enjoy it.
I will enjoy it.
You'll enjoy it. Better fucking enjoy it.
I'm probably gonna.
I swear to God.
I think that's the one thing I never. I think that's why I never played those games much, because those games obviously being very multiplayer oriented, I don't have fun with randos. So I would rather play with people I know. But
yeah, I mean,
not very many people I know play those games.
I'm getting used to playing with other people, but I don't like we're talking now, and I never use my headset. Because I don't want to talk to you. Like,
Yeah, I'm not playing the game to talk to.
yeah,
You, okay?
I just want to play, and this is how people play.
Plus, every time I played a game where you have a headset, someone just usually yells at everyone else and
Yeah,
quits. I'm like, I don't need to hear that.
yeah. I mean, so far I've only been in like you only hear people if you're in the squad, which is nice.
Hmm.
And so
That
far
is nice.
I haven't. I've been in one squad. I randomly joined one squad where they were talkative, but they weren't like whiny 8-year-olds, So that was cool.
They were whiny 10-year-olds.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. They weren't like because the real problem that I have, and this is like an old man sounding problem, um, is that like there's a shit ton of like 13-year-olds playing these games, and they kick your ass because they have nothing to do. And
Yeah, because like once summer break hits and like winter break hits, they don't do anything.
Like,
We have jobs.
yeah, they don't have a
and
job,
lives.
so all they do is they go home and they play this game. So it's like it doesn't really matter to them. So they get really good at it. Like I would be really good
Yeah.
at this game too if I cared enough as they do, and I had enough free time to dedicate like 30 to 40 hours a week on it. I just don't because I have to pay bills and eat. So
Exactly. Plus, it's like it's not fun playing with them anyway. Because like if I really want to hear about how much of a queer I am, I go talk to my therapist.
yeah, I'll
Okay?
talk to my mom.
Jeff, you can tell me if you're gay.
Shut up, Mom. I'm not gay. I'm not gay.
Although I do like it though because I do get to hear about all the people my mom slept with.
Yeah, she's a
So-
busy lady, your mom.
Yeah. That's how I got through
Yeah,
college.
it's like, hey man, like you
So,
always want to ask, like,
thanks,
man, where do
Mom.
you live? Because she doesn't have that kind of money. You paying her for like airfare? Because like she doesn't have that kind of money, dude. She's broke. And like I'd be like, Mom, man, my mom's married. You can't do that to him. Like
Yeah.
I like my stepdad.
Unless he likes to get cucked.
I mean, unless they're into that. I mean, are you into that?
Unless he is a cuckold.
Do you like it when you're fucking my mom and my stepdad's in the room watching? Is that what you're into? Yeah,
Well, I think the big question is your stepdad?
yeah,
like?
yeah, you dirty little bitch. Maybe I really want a kid now to like start saying that shit to me because I've got so many good comebacks.
See, I don't think I would try new comebacks. I think I would just constantly agree with them.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I mean by comeback. It's just like
Oh.
keep it going and making it worse and worse and worse. And be like, hey, you brought this on yourself, piece of shit. Listen,
Yeah, fuck your mom. Oh man, me too. High five.
high five, bro. You called out the thunder. Now reap the whirlwind, little Johnny. Think you're a badass? Let me tell you, I have nothing but contempt, and I'm gonna
I
let
fucked your mom, man.
I'm gonna let it all out on you.
I fucked your mom. You might want to go to the clinic.
Oh no, you did? Oh, okay. Why? What's up? Oh man, she
I hope you got a low draw on that number.
a low draw. Oh, it's heinous. Good God. Damn, Kenny.
Hey, if they're gonna take me down and bring him down
Yeah,
with me.
exactly. I'm not going down to your level. I'm going further.
You're getting a shovel. We got
Yeah,
places to go.
you better get that shovel, bitch. We're going deeper. Inception this shit.
It's like, hey, I fucked your mom. Yeah, actually, she wanted me to tell you, you need to work on some shit. You gave me a list of stuff you need to fix.
Yeah, you were not good. It's like bottom line.
Yeah, and she also said those noises you make are really fucking weird and you need to cut those
Yeah,
out.
and you finished way too soon. I mean, I don't blame you because she's hot, but dude, you
Like Minuteman is not a compliment, let you know.
yeah, Minuteman is not good. That doesn't mean you're a hero or anything like that.
Nope.
Although you
It's
probably
not
don't know
1776
anything
anymore.
about history, but
Probably don't pay attention much in school, do you?
yeah,
Corey?
yeah, because you're doing this game all the time. But and my mom apparently. How do you find the time?
You are one busy motherfucker.
I know, right? God, what a busy dude. God, I hope this happens tonight.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. I really want to use it on someone now.
Ugh. I hope we end up in a. If we do, we have to start recording it somehow.
Yes.
Because I want it to go up on the podcast, on the YouTube page.
I could try. Oh, it's going to be tricky because I can use Fraps to record it, but it might bog my system down. It depends on how much the game is going to, how many resources the game is going to need.
Yeah,
We'll find out. We'll find
pretty heavy game.
if if we do have some hilarious moments I'm able to record, we'll throw those up on the channel too, because those will be worth it.
Yes.
But speaking of
Oh.
games,
Segue time.
segue. Well, I don't know if there's anything else you want to throw out about Battlefield.
I got nothing.
Yes. But yeah, if we do end up playing it tonight, we can maybe talk about it again in the next show. We'll find out.
Ooh.
But speaking of games, there's a couple sales going on.
Oh,
For
yes.
Division and the GTA 5.
That's right.
And I'm torn. I am leaning more toward the Division because it is slightly cheaper.
Oh, that's always a plus.
It is it's $5 cheaper, so we're not talking a huge discount here. And I've seen a lot of
Got a big discount.
It's a big discount for big guys. Seen a lot of really positive reviews since they released the latest patch for the Division.
To their credit, they're letting this stuff out. They are letting this stuff out for like free. They're not making you pay.
Yeah.
They're not making you pay as a DLC for all this stuff. And this is like big content.
Mm-hmm.
I know because I haven't even touched that content yet. I haven't played that game in like a year. But like I keep downloading these like huge files from that game updates. I'm like, oh, there goes that hard drive space.
So yeah, so there's that, and I do want to play GT. I think I want to play GTA 5, or I should say, I think I want to get it as well because I am the whole GTA Online thing looks really awesome. I've never for whatever reason never been a huge fan of the GTA series, and I don't know why. I think it's because it's such an open world game, but you can't make a character, and I don't know, that bothers me for some reason. There's also the hype train. I don't like the hype train.
I mean, like it's great. The game is great.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest you play it because it's just like the game is awesome. Playing online would be more fun with people. Much like here's my take. Like the reason why I stopped playing the Division online is because it was boring playing by myself. And as we mentioned earlier, I don't want to meet new people online. Because
I have enough friends. I don't need more.
Yeah, it's just not great, you know. And if you happen to be like a hot chick I met online, you're probably still not going to be near me, and I just don't want to put myself through that.
Yeah, I don't need that again.
Yeah, exactly. So, not again. Never again. Fucking catfishing. Anyway.
By an actual catfish.
A natural catfish. Really impressive catfish, to be honest with you. But I stopped.
I don't know how we use the internet.
I stopped playing the Division because, I didn't have anybody to play with. And so it is more fun with a squad, a duo, or what have you. You know, and that's how they even.
Because when we played the demo, I had a lot.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun playing through the demo. And I'm not even that far ahead of where we were in the demo.
Nice.
But and they build it too of playing it with friends. You know, like the squad that they kept showing in the gameplay videos was, they weren't real friends because they were actors, but they were playing.
They were real to me, damn it.
They were real to me. And the same goes for Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, because if you play GTA 5 Online by yourself, and it's still things I have against GTA 5 Online is the matching system, like how you get two matches or how you figure out what you want to do and stuff like that. It's not great and it's not easy to figure out, I feel. But playing GTA 5 by yourself is like playing. If 4chan had a virtual space, it would be Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. Because you'll just be doing your thing, robbing liquor stores, because you can do that.
Like you do.
Yeah, just because in the very beginning you're trying to earn some money and you get dollars. Then some dude just runs by with a rocket launcher because he's been playing. Once again, he's probably a 10-year-old and playing way too much, and he just blows you away with a rocket launcher, and you just hear ha 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 ha, and he bolts off in his Lamborghini style car, and you're like, the fuck just happened? I was just robbing the liquor store, and then some rando just killed me just for funsies. So it is obnoxious. And aggressive players do eventually get put in their own server.
Yeah, I've heard that anyone who's super aggressive or has been caught cheating basically gets put in their own server where they only have to deal with those people.
Yeah, so which is better, I feel, but it's still a lot of that. So it would be more fun to play once again with friends, people I know. Not as much as I can assume there's going to be a certain level of maturity on the Division Online. I cannot assume that at all in GTA 5 Online. That has a totally different audience.
I think part of the reason I'm leaning more toward the Division is because the Division seems more easier to access as a duo versus because I think with GTA Online you need at least like 3 or 4 people
Yeah,
to
we
really
we would like,
do a lot of
especially do
things.
the stuff that I really want to do, which is like the heists and stuff like that.
Mhm.
We would need to put together a crew,
Yeah.
and because I really want to do that, like a bank heist.
Hmm.
Well, not really like real life, really, but
Good. Good save.
yeah.
Good save.
But like my favorite
Please
movies.
don't tell anyone, Jason. Please don't tell
All right,
anyone.
all right, he knows, they know. But like my favorite movies of all time are like heist films, like Heat
Like Heat.
and The Town, which is Heat in Boston. Um, uh,
As we said in previous episode, great film.
yeah, great, awesome film.
Get on the Affleck train, damn
Come
it.
on, I don't know what people are getting all on about, all mad and shit. Although I didn't see The Accountant because why would I?
I want to see it just because it looked kind of neat.
You know,
I think what it really is, not to sidetrack too much, I just think they can't let go of Daredevil.
yeah.
Like that forever to them will be Affleck. And I'm like, have you seen anything he's done ever?
I mean, he's not only is he a handsome motherfucker, but he's also a great actor, as it turns out. And
And he also hates Daredevil too, so he's right there with
and he
you.
might be a better director. So what do you want? So like his Batman movie, which by the way he helped write, the guy who co-wrote Good Will Hunting, by the way, best screenplay of that year.
I don't know if you remember that
Yeah.
list.
So he helped write his Batman movie. He's starring as Batman in his Batman movie, and he's directing his Batman movie. This has the potential of being the best Batman movie we've ever had. Period in the story, because
And I think
a good writer is
that's,
there, a great director is there, and a great actor is there. What do you want, folks?
and that's a very very lofty hurdle to climb because The Dark Knight is one of
Oh
is one
God.
of the best superhero films I've ever seen. I would say the best Batman film.
It's
Right now.
still very much so though, like a product of a different era. Like I feel like Nolan,
Oh yeah.
the Nolan Batman movies were their own like total tonal set, and
Mhm.
now we have like, and it was before the big rise of the Marvel film, and
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's kind of catching up to that, except Warner Brothers just isn't getting the memo. We're at like at Disney, they're like, hey Marvel, you do you because you guys have been doing this for 100,000 years now, and you're good at it.
Mhm.
We're at Warner Brothers. They're like, "Hey DC, we're spending an awful lot of money on this movie. It better be good, or else we're going to send in 50,000 different editors and make it worse."
And I understand like wanting you put a lot of money into something, you obviously want to make sure it goes well, and you feel like if I had was putting in millions of dollars or something, I'd be like, hey, let me I need to put my hand in this. I get
Yeah,
that.
it's a big investment, and
But
it'll probably make you nervous.
yeah, but at the same time, I'd be like, I don't know that much about this. I'm just gonna hire people that know stuff about this and let them do their thing because they know it better than I do.
Yeah,
And if I don't like what they do, I'll hire other people because I have that power as someone who can hire and fire.
I'm just saying.
So the message here of Warner Brothers is, be like Disney.
Yeah.
Back the fuck
Yeah,
up.
just let them do their thing. They're good at it. Otherwise, like you know how many times Marvel almost went out of business and they came back like bigger and better than ever. And DC's the same way. Like they but the only difference is that Warner Brothers has owned DC for a very long time.
The real message here is Warner Brothers. Let Ben Affleck do everything.
Yeah, just chill the fuck out. All right, just let them do their thing. Stay away from these
Actually-
movies.
What you should do is you should sell DC to Ben Affleck
Yes,
and let him be Disney.
there's that.
Because I really think if you let him, he would write and direct all of them. I think if you gave him that chance, he would take it.
I feel like Ben would
man,
get
that'd be awesome.
eventually burnt out on it. Like he's gonna
I don't
wanna get
know
off
if-
the
I
back
don't
train
know if he would.
eventually.
Well, no, I don't mean just the Bat Train. I mean every DC film. Let him write and direct all of them.
Yeah,
Like Aquaman, Green Lantern, The Flash, everything.
I mean, I can't blame Wolverine. Help me out. Hugh Jackman. Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah.
I can't blame him for not wanting to be Wolverine anymore because he's in his 50s and he's tired of having to constantly work out and watch what he eats so he can look like
Oh,
the
I
way
hate
Wolverine's
looking so
supposed to look.
attractive and fit. Oh.
Well, you gotta believe that at 50, that's a lot harder to do. like the amount of work that goes in to look like that.
That's why you pay someone to do it.
Yeah, you pay someone to you pay the CGI fee to make your
No, you pay that plastic surgery doctor.
yeah.
Pay him a lot of money.
Give me the abs.
Give me them abs and them pecs.
Yep. gotta look
And
pretty.
fix my flabby bingo wings.
It's like the level of commitment to your workout and diet regime has to be like 300 times worse.
Probably.
It's like really difficult, and I don't blame him for
Although,
not wanting.
to be fair, though, like that's not to say that as soon as Hugh Jackman is done, he's just going to let himself go.
No, he's not gonna become.
He's not going to go full on Marlon Brando.
Yeah, he's not gonna do that, but he's probably just not gonna be like the super cut guy anymore, which is fine. It's okay.
Although
And Ben's not that much
right,
younger either. I think he's in his 40s.
I want to say he's late 40s
Yeah.
at this point.
So it's gonna be harder and harder to be Batman. You know what I mean? Like.
But I have heard, at least Ryan Reynolds really wants to do a Deadpool Wolverine film, which would be awesome.
Yeah, but
And he wants Hugh Jackman to do it.
there's problems with Deadpool though.
How so?
Tim Miller, the guy who
Oh yeah, I
first
heard
film,
he's not directing.
he walked off the set due to creative differences in the second film.
I'm curious because he played one of the characters in the first film.
Which one?
So, Wade Wilson's friend, I forget his name.
That's not Tim Miller.
No, T.J. Miller was the one who directed the film.
I thought it was Tim Miller.
Mm-mm. Unless they're the same person.
They're not. I don't think so.
Well, I'm going to Google this.
Me too.
It...
Director Tim Miller, and that is not the kid. That is not the dude who plays Deadpool's.
Well, then the article that I read had a very large typo in it.
A very significant typo.
A very significant typo because the guy who played Wade Wilson's friend is T.J. Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the director is Tim Miller. So yeah, they need to fix that.
It's weird that the reason why apparently it's still rumors and speculative because it's film, but because it's Hollywood. But apparently Ryan Reynolds and him had a disagreement on the set, of which because they were like very buddy and hand in hand with the first movie. So I don't know what happened in the second one.
The only thing I can think of is because Ryan Reynolds has been like super all about Deadpool forever.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he might have gotten a little too particular about certain parts. I mean, it's hard to say. I don't know. I mean, Ryan Reynolds also could, have totally been fine with whatever.
Mm.
Hard to say. My speculation, though, is I want to lean more toward Ryan Reynolds having an issue with something just because of how much he loves Deadpool and how much he's been wanting to do this forever. So that's my guess.
Mm.
But hard to say until we get actual hard facts.
Yeah, it's just gonna be whatever. I mean, I'm bummed. I'm hoping that it's still gonna be good. Because that first movie was just like tour de force, baby. Like, holy shit, that movie was great.
Mm-hmm. I think it will, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be impossible to say until we actually see the film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad they're doing a sequel, because usually films like that don't get sequels.
Yeah.
So it is nice to actually see them doing something about it instead of just letting this really popular film kind of go to waste. So good on them. I am cautious optimism again. Cautious optimism.
Yes, indeed.
But back to what we were talking about.
What were we talking about again?
The Division and GTA.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't know how we got sidetracked.
Nope, I'll
find out in editing. I'll find out in editing. So yeah, I'm leaning more toward the Division. I don't know what between the two. What would you say?
I mean, I am more excited about playing the Division with another human being, with you, Kenny. More excited about playing with you. Just because, like, there's so much more content added, and I want to know what it's about. You know what I mean?
So is that the verdict then that I should go for the Division?
I vote Division. Let's do a Division.
All right, well, you heard it here first, listening audience. I'm going to buy the Division. It's also free this weekend, which helps too.
Oh, there you go. We can play it, and we can decide. Oh, this sucks.
Actually, we can do that if we can discuss that.
Okay.
Sweet.
I did.
All right. So I will if
I couldn't remember.
Provided it doesn't suck. Provided it doesn't suck, I will buy the Division.
Provided I have it installed. I know I do because it's just updated a little while ago.
Nice. So I do have a question for you, since that issue has been settled. I have another issue.
Oh, thank God.
I need to talk
about. Oh, another one.
Another one. So as I said, OA. Next week is my office party for Christmas. My Christmas office party. Office Christmas party. Those are the words. And there's going to be an ugly sweater contest.
Uh-oh.
And I had an idea, but I want to know if you think it's a bad idea.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
So I've only been in this company for about 8 months. But for the ugly sweater contest, I wanted to wear a sweater with a mirror taped to it. Do you think that's a bad idea?
Oh, Kenny. Kenny, just because you work with monsters doesn't mean you have to point it out to them, because based on what you've told me about
Mm-hmm.
certain people who who work there and their political beliefs, they will not think it's funny and they will not take it well.
But I don't have an ugly sweater. Well, I should have meant that. I don't have a sweater.
I don't own a sweater.
I own a sweatshirt and a coat. That's it.
Oh, God, I don't understand the sudden explosion of popularity in the ugly sweater thing. I don't get it. I don't think it's funny or interesting. I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what the big deal is.
Remember back in the day when you didn't want to be the guy with the ugly sweater?
Yeah. Like, come on.
And you made fun of that
Who
guy?
gives a fuck, man? Come on.
I guess bring it back, I guess. I don't know.
Like, oh, are we being ironic? And that's what it is. It's just, oh my God,
Mm.
look at all the irony we're doing.
A very odd sense of irony.
Yes, we have irony, and irony's hip, right? Let's do hip.
My sweater will be very irony.
Yo!
Uh,
You shouldn't iron wool.
no. No, you really
It'll
shouldn't.
catch on fire like a motherfucker.
That's why you don't iron sheep. One of the many reasons you shouldn't iron sheep. So bad idea? No, I shouldn't do it?
I would not do it. No,
That's what everyone else has said.
I would not do it.
Man. Well, now how am I going to win the contest now?
I don't know.
I have to come up with
I
something
guess
else,
you'll
or
just have
say
to,
fuck
like-
it and do it anyway.
I guess you'll just have to do what I would do.
Not wear a sweater.
Not participate.
Yeah, but if I win, I get a $50 Amazon gift card. That's the only reason I want to participate.
God, I would not do it either way.
Well, I mean, we don't have to, like, I don't, it's a contest in so much as just, wear it and pick a winner. Like, I don't have to do anything in the sweater. But I might do it anyway. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't care enough about this company to give a shit what other people think about me.
Yeah, but you want to keep your job for now. And like, if you just continue to like sit on people's like naughty list, they're just going to be more apt to find a way to fire you.
Well, I shouldn't be on the naughty list now because I've been like kicking ass all the shit they've been giving me at work.
Yeah.
And when I say shit, I mean like actual things to do, not like giving me guff.
Giving you the MacGuffin.
No, they've been giving me like a ton of cases and stuff to do, and I've been completing all of them like fairly quickly, especially for the size of some of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm on anyone's naughty list, then they need to cut that shit right out.
You've been taking a lot of the size, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I guess.
Mm.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you slut.
Hey, I like what I like.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish I'd lube up before they fuck me at work.
Yes.
But it's although surprisingly no overtime yet.
No
So
OT. I clocked in a half an hour of OT this week.
Well, I shouldn't say no
Fair,
OT.
I
mean,
cheated.
I've almost gotten an hour of OT,
Mm.
but that's just because I've been staying for like 10 or 15 minutes here or there extra. But no, like, because before it was like you have to come in for like a full Saturday. We haven't had that yet.
What I've had to do, what I did was
What did you
like
do?
this my last Friday there was that like work party thing that I told you about. So I had to stay an extra half an hour, and I didn't want to go. I wanted to go home, so I definitely included that half an hour. And I just never, I never left half an hour early the next day. You know, I didn't do that like I'd planned to. I just kind of forgot about it. And then today, because of the upcoming holidays and stuff like that, like we were told that like to finalize, to basically like we were told yesterday to basically finalize today's time, just like put in what you'll do for tomorrow, you know. And so I put in my regular hours.
0?
Yeah. I put in my regular hours, even though that today, like from noon to 3, we went to one of my boss's house and we had like a private holiday party within like 2 departments. So,
Nice.
but I got paid for that, and then I left at the same time I always do, and so. And like my boss already approved the half-hour overtime because he had to. Because the reason why they wanted us to do it early is because they wanted your supervisor to approve it early, because even the payroll guys are leaving town. You know what I mean? So they wanted it done.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So I was like, oh, okay. I got half an hour extra pay. Woo! I mean,
Ooh, nice.
really, I'm sure he was like, what's a half an hour? Who cares? And to make up for it, I volunteered to take on some extra stuff next week.
There you go. It all works out then.
All works out. It all comes out.
Yeah, I
in the wash.
didn't volunteer to take anything because fuck that noise.
Yeah.
If I like the company, I would.
Well, he asked, and I honestly have not been doing much lately. Like I said, it's been pretty fucking quiet for the past couple days. We're like, oh, well, okay. It's cool because I've been able to catch up on stuff that I've been putting off. Because I'm like, this is
like shows on Netflix or
no, it's not that bad. No, but like, I would probably get in trouble for that. But like, I've been putting off stuff. I'm like, because that's annoying. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not doing that because I don't feel like it, and no one's really like making me right now. So I'm not doing it. So. Dedication, Kenny. That's what it's about.
You truly are
Dedication.
a government employee.
I mean, I like the job. I don't think I'll be able to do it for more than like 2 years. I'll probably go crazy.
No, I would love that job.
Just because, well, like you think that, but then eventually you just kind of get, like it gets pretty dull pretty fast.
Nope, don't care.
But I will like to stay. I'm not gonna say what system. I'm gonna try and stay in the system, and because the bennies are very good.
True.
And I don't mean the Benjamins, though.
They're okay.
They're okay. They're better than I had, but I wish they were more.
Yeah, I think we all feel.
But
like
that's the other thing about that job is like the possibility of earning more Benjamins and keeping my bennies are high.
Which is always nice.
Always good. Always good.
Well, hopefully, you can stick in that system.
I hope so. Stick it out.
And when you leave that job, you should tell me so I can apply for it. Because I would like to be in that system.
I told you we just hired someone in our department. You would not have qualified.
Why not? I could have qualified.
No, you don't have the proper experience that we needed. Sorry. I don't have the proper experience that they needed, so.
I can lie.
Sorry, buddy.
Whatever. We'll just keep your ear to the ground. Let me know.
Yeah, well.
Sweet. But yeah. Well, yeah. So no sweater then.
No sweater. No sweater.
Fine.
Oh! Don't get a sweater, but get one of those like mall print shirts of just a selfie of you.
Ouch. Ouch. That's rude. See, I'll do that, and then I'll tape a mirror to my face.
Your tears, they sustain me.
You know what, Jeff?
Yes.
You're rude.
No. Oh, good times.
Speaking of rude, I did have an interesting conversation with someone on Twitter.
Okay.
And I've gone from trying to engage conspiracy theorists to just mocking them now.
Good. I'm glad you have a hobby.
Well, I should say when I mock them, I do it mostly to myself as I read stuff on the internet. I don't really talk to them for obvious reasons.
Oh,
although
I yell at people in the car when I'm driving around.
Yeah. Like very rarely I'll tweet or talk to them in some way, but most of the time I'll read something and I'll be like, "Wow, you're a fucking idiot," and like just kind of move on.
So you're one of them tools.
No, I don't say that. I say that to myself.
Yeah,
you're
like talking to someone. Oh, look at that. Look at that mook over there.
Pretty much, yeah. But in this case, I had to respond to this person because someone I follow had tweeted out. Okay, so I'm sure you're aware of this, but apparently Sandy Hook didn't happen. Sandy
That's
Hook was
a conspiracy now? Like that's fake?
No, not just now. That's been a conspiracy since day one. So yeah, Sandy Hook didn't happen.
That is like legitimately sad.
It is. It's very sad.
Feel bad for them.
Which is why I felt compelled to respond because I don't feel the need to respect these people.
It's like, dude, how fucking dare you?
Exactly. And the thing about it is like all that happened was someone that Dave Fleming actually he retweeted. Dave Fleming, for those of you who don't know, is one of the Giants broadcasters. He retweeted something that someone he follows put out. It basically just said, on the anniversary of this, we're mourning the victims. Mm-hmm. That's essentially what that was. And then a bunch of people, because like they do, they saw something about Sandy Hook, and they're like, fake. And this one guy, I might put his name in the description. I'll think about it. He said, in response to someone, he said, "You should try logic and common sense, Muppet." And so I said, "Okay, here's some. no one lost any guns, and no major laws have been enacted. It's kind of a shitty false flag. And he said they'd never do it after a single event. It would be accumulation of events to form a pattern. I'm like, oh, you mean like all of the mass shootings that we've had? And then he said every time there's a mass shooting, instead of blaming mental health, liberals blame guns. I'm like, yes, God forbid that we blame the thing that caused the incident. Sure. And then I also...
and we do blame mental health, too.
We do. We blame both because we, as a people, can multitask. And I also thanked him for sidestepping my point. And then he asked me why I came off so snarky, and I said, because you aren't worth taking seriously. And then he said, likewise, that's why I don't talk to people like you. And I'm like, yeah, and yet you're still here talking to me. And then he left, and then he said bye-bye, and I said, oh, I hate to see you run away with your tail between your legs. We were having such a good time. And then he said, fortunately, I have a job, because you're trying to imply that I don't.
Oh.
And then I'm like, hey, me too, we should high-five over our mutual employment. And then I asked him, are you sure it's a job? Are you sure it's not just an elaborate hoax to keep you plugged into the system? And then he told me I should stop being a knob. And I'm like, yeah, but if I'm not a knob, how am I going to relate to someone like yourself? And then he stopped talking to me.
It's like, how can I possibly be a knob? I don't. I think Sandy Hook happened.
But if I'm not a knob, then how can we ever have such a wonderful conversation? So yeah, so that's if I ever do interact with them, which is very rare. There's some things like that I can't let that go because that's just you're just spitting on the graves of children at that point. And as much as we have said on the show we don't like kids, we don't want to hurt.
I don't want to hurt children. I am anti.
I just don't want them around.
Yeah, I'm anti-children in that I just don't want to be near them.
Yeah. They can be children elsewhere.
Yeah, they can be just not all they want somewhere else.
Yeah. So we get to the point when you're just basically spitting on the memory and the graves of these children. Like, no, I'm going to call you an asshole because that's just what you are. So, but I thought it was funny because also I don't know if this was intentional on his part. The dude did not like to use punctuate he didn't like to use spaces after commas.
That's annoying.
Ever.
I have a problem with that.
And I wanted to point that out, but I'm like, there are so many other fish to fry in this argument.
That would be a problem for me. I wouldn't be able to focus on anything but that. I'd be like, why? Why is this thing? What are you doing this for? Why are you hurting me?
I wanted to say something, but then I didn't want him to be able to like, oh, you can't focus on the argument. You have to talk about this other thing. I'm like, no, I'm just going to let that one slide and just insult him another way.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's how I spent Wednesday afternoon. Because very slow at work because I got a lot of the shit I needed done early.
That's what I did that day.
That's what I did that day. Well, some of it was on my lunch break too, so I can't say it was all while I was at work. Yes, but like most things like that, there were no winners in that situation. Just calling a dipshit.
Call it like it is, buddy.
Calling a spade a spade.
Just calling him, dipshit.
23 skidoo.
23 skidoo.
Yes. I think it might be a good high note to end it on.
Yeah. Okay. What did we learn today, kids?
People are dumb.
People are dumb. Good.
Dumber than we thought.
Good. dumber than we could ever imagine. And remember, kids, remember our history. Mm-hmm. Always remember our histories.
Yes, as they say, those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
Yes.
Which normally I it's one of those things like, well, that's really obvious, but in this case, we really need to remember that.
Yes.
And also, Sandy Hook really happened. So don't be that.
It did in fact happen, guys. Mm-hmm. It happened. Mm-hmm. It's terrible that it happened.
It's really fucking awful.
It's awful. It should never have happened.
No, and
it did.
After it happened, we should have done something about it, but we didn't. So
we fucked that one up too.
Yeah, we really dropped the ball there.
We, as a team. I mean, I didn't fuck up because, like,
No,
I was not in a position to do anything about it, but
no.
I was very upset with people.
Mm-hmm. But on a lighter note.
Oh, good.
Hopefully. With Rogue One having just come out.
Yes.
Hopefully, Jeff and I will be able to see it between now and the next episode.
Yes, I'm hoping to see it tomorrow, possibly.
As am I. But if we do, perhaps we can have a discourse.
Yes.
On
a discussion
on the film.
Yes.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to see it. But yes, so if we do that, that will be the next episode.
Excellent.
So tune in to find out if we both got to see the film.
I can't wait to hear it.
It's gonna be great.
Oh boy! Oh wait, I have to like Okay.
Yeah, you have to be part of it. You have to be part of the show to hear it.
Oh boy! Huh? Huh?
But yes, I hope you enjoyed the show. As always, I had a blast doing it, and I hope you did too, Jeff.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was good. Take it or leave it, more or less. But yes, as always, please like,
Better luck next
subscribe.
time.
You do better the next one. Well, we do try to do better. It doesn't always work out though. But yes, like, subscribe, and leave us a comment and tell us what you think of the show. Tell us why we suck. Tell us why we don't suck. Tell us if you've played Battlefield 1 and how you like it, because I'm genuinely curious to see what other people think.
How do you feel about it? Is it
How
good?
do you feel?
Do you hate
And
hate fuck kill? Was no way? Was it Mary fuck kill?
Mary fuck kill.
Yeah, it was my version's like scary.
there's like no good anything.
Yeah, I should probably see a therapist.
Yeah, you really should.
That's bad.
Worked for me.
Hooked on phonics done good for me.
I graduated.
Oh Lord.
But if you would also like to contribute to the GTA 5 versus Division argument,
Even though we've
leave a
already
comment.
decided it.
Although if you already decided by the time I see these, I'll already have purchased the Division probably. But if you want to contribute anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the two games. And you should also vote on the ugly sweater idea. Ugly sweater. You should vote on the ugly sweater idea if you think I should tape a mirror to my sweater. But yes, and again, like, subscribe, and just in general, tell us what you think of the show. And
Please.
as always, if there's anything you find that you think you'd like us to talk about, drop us a comment in the comment section, and we will talk about it.
Come on now, do it.
And if you leave a comment, you could be on the show. You could be an entire segment unto yourself.
Honestly,
on the show.
we'd have no choice.
Truly. And you could be the first one.
Yeah.
You could be like the comment version of stuff.
Oh my God, could you be the first? Come on, guys.
You not only could you tie first, you could be first.
Yeah, you could be that dick
Actual
that no one
first.
likes.
But
Thankfully,
in this case, it would be.
I think that's
because
finally
you were
dead,
first.
or it's died. Like it's going.
No,
away.
it still happens.
It's not cute anymore, fellas.
That ever play was ever cute at all.
Anyway.
It-
Good night, everybody.
Yes, thank you for tuning in, and tune in next time, as hopefully we will talk about Rogue One. And until then, you have been listening to A Better Podcast with Kenny and Jeff.
A better podcast.
Good night, and good luck.
Good night and good luck.